Hello everybody and welcome to Hearthstone for Noobs. It's Stone Areno here and today we are playing Arena. Okay, so if you're new to the game and you haven't played Arena before, then well, there's going to be one reason for that if you're very new to the game, and that's because you haven't unlocked all of the heroes yet. And what you need to do is you need to beat each hero. You can do it playing against the AI. You don't have to play real people, but you have to beat each hero to unlock the hero. Once you've unlocked all 9 heroes, then you will get a free ticket to the arena so you can try it out and see how it works differently from the game. Otherwise, it's going to cost you 150 gold to play. And why do you spend 150 gold on the arena when you can spend 100 gold and buy a pack of cards? Well, the arena, you're always going to get a pack of cards when you play it, no matter what. If you lose every game you play, you're still going to get a pack of cards. So the most it's going to cost you is 50 gold. Having said that, in the arena, you are actually able to win up to 12 games before you lose up to 3 games. So if you lose 3 games, you're out, and if you win 12 games before you lose 3 games, you're just done, because I think they guessed that was enough. Anyway, so what you do is when you get into the arena, you buy your ticket, and then you choose a character. They're going to give you 3 of the 9 classes to choose from. It's random, and you're going to pick one, and then you're going to get to draft cards relevant more or less to that character. There's going to be lots of neutral cards that are shared in the game, but there's also going to be plenty of cards that are specific to that class. And sometimes you get good options, and sometimes you get bad options, and we're going to go ahead and just go through that and kind of have a little bit of discussion on the choices as we go. Some of them might be made quicker than others, and if that's the case, then you'll know it's because the other 2 cards were just that bad, which we'll probably talk about at some point in a future video. But right now, we just want to get into the arena run and see what kind of work we can get done here. So first of all, choosing your class. Well, there's the Warlock this time, there's the Paladin, and there's the Hunter. There are some classes in the arena that are clearly better than others, and Paladin is right up there at the top. The Mage has always been considered the strongest arena class, and is probably still the strongest arena class, but it's very close to the top with the Paladin. The Priest is also very good, and then it kind of goes down from there. Hunter is kind of notoriously bad in the arena. You will see this just because you don't come up against a lot of Hunters, and that's because most people know you're just not going to get great cards and great combos and great attack value out of the Hunter. Even though he's got a cool hero power, the arena is about having cards and having control of the game and having like the board control. And then of course there's the Warlock, which actually I quite enjoy playing in the arena. One of the most frequent problems you're going to encounter in the arena is if the game goes sort of into the later stages, you're going to run out of cards pretty quickly. And if you're top decking in the arena, you are really walking a fine line, especially if you haven't got control of the game. And so the Warlock is useful because you can use his hero power to tap and draw a card every turn. So one benefit of having the Warlock in the arena is that you never run out of cards until you actually run out of cards. And at that point, you should have won by then, and if not, you were probably always losing. Having said that, today we're going to go with Paladin. He is responsible for some of the best arena runs in the game. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do great. I am definitely not the best arena player by a long shot, but I'm not terrible. That doesn't mean we can't lose our 3 games in a row and go out right away, and that really is dependent on the cards we choose and the draws we get in the game, and also how well our opponent's decks are made. So it's going to take a little bit of luck to get some success, but also, we got to see and draft the best cards we can here and really try and plan for winning these arena battles. So first of all, you're almost always going to get a rare or better choice on turn 1 and turn 30, and there's a couple other spots in the game. Now, if you're a real you're like a real bookworm, like a studier, like somebody who really wants to look into all the facets of the game and get all the information you can from the internet, then there is a site called Hearth Arena, and that site will give you tier lists of all the cards that you see. So every time you get offered a card, you can input the 3 cards that you're being offered into this site, and it will tell you which one is best, not only in that specific situation, but also best considering the cards you've already chosen as you've drafted your arena deck. So it's a pretty fun site. I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to things like this. I like to put my hands over my ears and stamp my feet and say, no, I'm not going to figure it out myself. I don't need anybody to tell me how it works. So I've only actually been on that site a couple of times, and that's more recently because I was sort of investigating, what it can tell you and what it can do for your arena game. And I can tell you right now that if you're new to the game, and unless you're like me and you're really really hard-headed like me and you really just want to take the lumps and figure it out yourself, then it actually is worth going there because it will help you recognize more quickly the synergies that are available in the drafts that you do and how to sort of maximize the value of the deck that you're building. I've played a ton of Arena, and at this point, I mean, I probably play at least 1 Arena a day, and so I'm pretty used to seeing the cards, seeing the options, and knowing the value of each one as it plays with my hand. Now, on the first pick, we don't actually know what the deck's going to look like. So we're kind of taking the creature on its pure merit. Now, you see Emperor Cobra, destroy any minion damaged by this minion. This would kind of look like the obvious one because it's going to kill something. But the problem with Emperor Cobra is unless you get it out sort of safely behind something that's going to protect it so that it's useful, then you really don't get a lot of value out of it because they'll just find a way to kill it with something small or a small spell. And so sometimes he can be the hero of your game, but often he's just not going to do a lot. And Mind Control Tech, if your opponent has 4 more minions, take control of 1 at random. This card is extremely useful at times, and other times it's just, a dead card. Now, in the arena, frequently players will play around this card, and when I say play around, I mean they will make sure their board generally only has 3 or less creatures on it. But at certain points in the game, they will excuse me, they will kind of go all in and put a bunch of creatures out on the board. And if it's a board full of big creatures, then Mind Control Tech's going to get some serious value. And if it's like a paladin like us, and he's got 3 little dudes on the board and something else, then it's likely you're going to pull a dude. But at the same time, the Mind Control Tech can assist in tempo in these spots and actually steal a reasonable creature and get that onto your side of the battlefield. And then there's the Imp Master. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this minion and summon a 1/1 imp. So this creature spawns imps every time. I'm sure you've seen this card before in play. Probably less frequently nowadays, though, than back when the game was newer. It's got 5 health and only 1 attack, so he really does, or she doesn't really get a lot done as far as like the battle part of the game is concerned, as far as like engaging. But you are able to like keep a presence on your board, keep a couple little attacks here and there from the imps. Having said that, like this is a card that, if you're playing this card and they have Mind Control Tech, then it's going to make sure that your board has lots of creatures on it and is going to allow them to steal something. So considering the 3 picks, we're going to take Mind Control Tech because later in the game he could be quite useful, and at the very least we're going to get a 3/3 body on the board for 3 mana. That's not the worst. And probably not going to be quite so in depth with every card, but like choices like this is worth kind of going over. Okay, Ogre, Magi, Raid Leader, and Booty Bay Bodyguard. Now, people that are new to the game are like, oh, Taunt's awesome. This card in general, you will find out, is pretty shitty. He looks strong. He's like, oh, it's a Taunt, but believe me, like, it's not the best card in the game. It's certainly not the best Taunt in the game, and really, if you don't have to pick it, you probably shouldn't. It's quite slow at a 5 mana cost. It's difficult to play him on turn 5 or a later turn with another card and actually get reasonable value out of him because he's going to die so easily to so many things. Raid Leader, your other minions have +1 attack. Now he's a 3 mana 2/2, so it seems a little pricey. But considering that we make dudes, this might be a card worth considering. And then the Ogre, spell damage +1. If you watched my first video series, then you'll know that spell damage is a fun thing to have to like buff your abilities, your burst damage. But in the arena, you're not sure what cards you're going to get, And also, as we saw in the Paladin videos, the Paladin doesn't have a great deal of burst. I'm obviously don't have all the cards in the set, so there's a couple burst spells I'm missing. But on the whole, it's kind of a gamble other than knowing that you're just going to have a solid body on the board. He could buff Consecration, which will probably get offered at least one of those. But I'm going to go ahead and take Raid Leader, because if we get a few guys out, especially if we get the card Muster for Battle, we'll be able to combo that and actually do some reasonable damage. If not, it's just something to play. Okay, Blessing of Might, Murloc Raider, Ventrico Mercenary. Ventrico is pretty solid in the arena. As you can see, he makes your minions cost 3 more, but that's not always a big concern for us because we're making dudes. Having said that, Blessing of Might is a card that, for cheap, we can have a dude that's on the board, give him the extra 3 attack, and let him attack for 4, and just sacrifice a very small, cheap, card to get rid of something serious and scary, like a Booty Bay Bodyguard. So I'm going to go ahead and take Blessing of Might here. Fen Creeper, Narabar, Mech Warper. Okay, well, since Mech Synergy is so big these days, Mech Warper is probably one of the better cards that you can choose. There's still going to be plenty of mechs that we get offered in this, and considering we have a Mech Warper, we might start leaning towards mechs. But yeah, once again, there's a big taunt, and once again, if you're new to the game, you might be going, no, Stone Arena, what are you doing? You want the 3/6 with taunt. We're probably going to get offered better taunts in the game. We might not. At the same time, this card isn't as good as it may look, and it's literally because it doesn't trade that well at a 5 mana cost. It doesn't really kill enough stuff, and it might be able to take 2 hits, but we want early game, especially in the arena. It's about having that early game control and to get things out on the board and to be able to, to get control of the game. So we're going to take the Mech Warper and hope that we get more mechs, and if not, it's just a 2-drop. Okay, Reckless Rocketeer, Light's Justice, and Blessing of Kings. Blessing of Kings is the one of the spells in the Paladin range, and is actually pretty good because, again, we can just throw that on anything like a dude, and suddenly it's a 5/5. Light's Justice is kind of useful, especially in the arena, because even though it's only 1 attack, you've got 4 durabilities. That means you can attack, things that need to be killed off that have 1 health 4 different times. And if you had like a Spiteful Smith, it would combo with this card. If the Spiteful Smith was injured but alive, then you would be able to do 3 attack each time. So Light's Justice is worth considering, but I think we're going to get offered it again. So we're going to take the Blessing of Kings right now because it's pretty much a little bit more valuable. Ooh, okay, so Dragonly Mechanic gives you two creatures. This plus a 2/1. Another Blessing of Kings or another Mech Warper. This is interesting. I think we're going to take the other Mech Warper. And like I said, try and build up some mech synergy. Okay, so Shielded Minibot, Solemn Vigil's card draw, and Mad Scientist. We're taking the Shielded Minibot. We have mechs, we have Mech Warpers, and this is a really solid Paladin card and a really solid 2-drop in general. Pretty much every Paladin deck in Constructed is running at least one of these, so we know we want a Shielded Minibot. Okay, Nomarian Infantry, one of the worst cards in the game. Garboshi is actually pretty good in the arena, especially if you're like a priest, because you can hit something and then heal it, and it still gets the enrage, and then you can keep making it bigger and keep healing it. But he does some work for most people. But what we want right here is we want the Gnomish Inventor. I was never a big fan of this card when I first started playing the game, but especially in the arena, as I said before, card draw is important because we need to not run out of cards, at least not before our opponent does. So we're taking that. Okay, Earthen Ring Farseer, that's a little bit of healing. Eye for an Eye is a secret. There are some good Paladin secrets. There are some awful Paladin secrets. This one's pretty bad. It's unpredictable. They could use their hero power if they're like the mage, which you're going to see a lot of mages in the arena. They could use their hero power and hit you for 1, and then it just does 1 damage to them, and it's not really worth it. Stormpike Commando does allow some removal because of the 2 damage when it comes out. And Earthen Ring with the 3 health, even though it's nice to have healing in the arena, and it's a good solid little 3-drop body, the Paladin does have some healing spells in his range, and it's possible we might get offered a couple of good ones. So we're going to go with the Stormpike. This is an okay arena card. It's not fantastic, but the Battle Cry does help on turn 5 sort of clear up stuff that's already been on the board for a minute. And there's exactly the card I was hoping for when I was just saying we're going to get offered some healing spells. Restore 8 health, draw 3 cards. Health and card draw. It's a later game card, and obviously we're not going to be guaranteed to have it in our hand when we need it, but this is the one we're taking. Shade of Noxramas is a pretty good card, a really good card in the arena. I mean, it's above average in the arena, but considering you have something like Blessing of Kings, then you could play it, and then you could bless it, and then it's just growing wildly and big and scary. And then Faceless Manipulator is not bad either. It's one of those cards that it's better if you have something to kill the thing that you are faceless manipulating. Okay, yeah. So what you want to do is you want to play this card onto one of their really good cards and then kill their really good card. Now you've got that really good card. But it's a bit hit and miss, and he's not always super useful. The arena, is inconsistent, so you can't guarantee that they're going to have like a Ragnaros or, something big that you're going to definitely want to faceless. So we're definitely taking Lay on Hands. As I said, this is the card I was hoping for when I was discussing, healing and card draw. All right, Hungry Dragon. Repentance is another secret, kind of like the Hunter's Snipe, and another Gnomish Inventor. So, do we want a Hungry Dragon? He's big, but the one-cost minion can really screw up your day if you aren't prepared. So you can't play this card if you don't have something to kill the one-cost minion, because leaving that out there means that whatever's out there already is going to help kill this back, and then it's kind of just like a null point. I'm almost leaning towards a second Inventor just so we can keep cycling cards, but I'm going to take the Hungry Dragon because at later stages of the game where we do have stuff out on the board, this is going to be a great body for cheap. Alright, Gilblin Stalker, a little 2/3 with stealth. It's a 2-drop. Acolyte of Pain, card draw, and fairly consistent card draw. They're going to focus on killing him in one shot, so you get the minimum draw out of him. And Burly Rockjaw Frog. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain +2 attack. Now, we don't have great turn 4s right now. Both of these are kind of better later game cards, and this is actually a pretty solid 4-drop, especially in the arena, because even though it's only got 3 attack to start with, it's got 5 health, and they are almost going to try and kill it every time before they do anything else, because they can't afford to cast spells and let him live and let him grow, because shit, one spell, now he's got 5 attack. You play 2 spells without paying attention to this card, it's a 7/5. What are you going to do? So we're taking this because it's a great 4-drop in the arena to own the board a little bit and offer that control where they have to use a spell to kill it immediately or use a couple creatures to kill it immediately before they proceed with their plan. So we like Burly. Dire Wolf Alpha, adjacent minions have +1 attack. That kind of synergizes well with like our low drops and our raid leader and stuff like that. That really buffs a lot of stuff up. Dancing Swords is a pretty good card in the sense that it's got the 4/4 stats for 3, but the death rattle, your opponent draws a card. In the arena, like I said, cards are a big part of having the win condition, is knowing that you're going to keep having cards in your hand and that you have more options, more and more options. And really, if there are better picks to be had than Dancing Swords, you kind of want to pick around it because you don't want to give your opponent a card in the arena. In Constructed, you can plan on giving your opponents cards for certain reasons, and this card works fine. But in the arena, if you can avoid picking this card, probably better to do so. And then we have Guardian of Kings. He's an expensive 5/6, but he's still a big body, and it restores 6 health to your hero. We're going to take that. And now we've got 6 health here and 8 health here, so we've got 14 health. Possibly, if we draw it all, that's going to help keep us alive. And now True Silver Champion. We've seen these, and this card you're going to pick above most options when you're playing Paladin in the arena because, it's great to have a weapon. The 4 attack is fantastic, and the 2 durability, you're going to get to attack twice. And as you can see, whenever your hero attacks, restore 2 health to it. So that's like 4 more health. Like if you're swinging clean at their face, you're going to definitely get 4 health. And if you're killing things, well, it mitigates the damage a little bit. It stops you from getting, quite so hurt. Okay, Nomarian Infantry, terrible. Shattered Sun Cleric, this is one of my favorite cards when it's a gold card. It looks so pretty. And Ancient Brewmaster, return a friendly minion from the battlefield to your hand. Now, when you start playing the game, this card looks really good. It's big, and it can pull something back so you can use it again. And we've got a couple cards actually that I wouldn't mind pulling back to my hand and using again, But considering we want a good solid 3-drop that's going to complement our 2-drops, we can't really play Mind Control Tech on turn 3. We don't want to, we don't have to. And Raid Leader, you don't want to play him like sort of on his own on turn 3. Or even just with one other thing, because he's not really going to challenge much. You want to, surprise people with him, or at least buff a couple of minions that you're planning on using to kill stuff with. And on turn 3, we want to keep our board, strong. So we're taking Shattered Sun, and she'll give another minion a permanent buff that might really help. Okay, Blessing of Wisdom. So we can give one of our creatures or their creatures this, and it means whenever that creature attacks, we get to draw a card. So that's some early game card draw that, it will either stop them using a weak creature, they just won't attack with it if you bless it, or it'll, get a little bit of value. And then there's Spider Tank. This is another super solid 3-drop. And Dread Corsair, who, 3/3 with taunt for 4, like it says 1 less per attack of your weapon. So on turn 4, if we had this and True Silver Champion in our hand, we could play True Silver Champion, and then this would be free. We can play both of them. But considering that we want to be building strong boards in the arena and that we want to be able to, really be in control of the game, we're going to take Spider Tank because it's a durable little dude. It's a mech. It works well with our mech warpers, and so we could even get it out earlier possibly. Another Booty Bay, a young Dragonhawk, and Nightblade. Okay, 3 awful picks, like awful, like young Dragonhawk. First of all, don't even look at that card. You don't want it ever. And then Nightblade has a kind of a cool battle cry, and you see her stats 4/4 for 5, and then Booty Bay Bodyguard is a 5/4 for 5 with taunt. Considering that we don't have a lot of taunt, in fact, I don't think we have any taunt yet. And now considering the other options around Booty Bay, like I said, sometimes you're going to get him, and most of the time you want to pick around him, but he's actually a little bit better than Nightblade because of the extra attack and the taunt factor, so we're taking that. Another Guardian or another Mech Warper. Once again, Ancient Brewmaster, I just don't see him being super fantastically useful here. I think Guardian of Kings is the way to go. I think 2 of them will definitely be enough. If we get offered another one, I don't know if we would take it. It really depends on how this deck continues to develop, but we're going to take the Guardian here and get more health, more big bodies, and then that now means we have 20 health in our deck. Okay, Stormwind Champion, your other minions have +1/+1. That's a pretty good card. That's one of the basic cards that comes with the game, and you'll have it right away to practice using it with other things. And we got Flying Machine. He's a mech with Wind Fury. None of this is good except for the mech tag, and just because it's a mech, it's still not good. This is probably one of the worst mechs in the game, and still one of the worst cards in the game, so we're definitely not taking that. And then Solemn Vigil is more card draw, and it's 5 mana to draw 2 cards, but if you play it on your turn after you've traded a couple of minions in, it suddenly is much cheaper. So, for example, if you had 2 dudes and they had, 2 things that have 1 health, and you traded the dudes into those things, and 4 minions die, then this card's going to cost 1. So, you could play it for 1 mana, draw 2 cards, and play another card. And because card draw is important, so far we got one card and 3 cards, and that's late game. So we're going to take this and try and get some value out of it and make sure that we don't run out of cards too soon. Okay, Ancient Watcher can't attack. Early game, we could drop him, and we could taunt him up if we get a taunt giver, or we could use an owl or something like that if we get a silence to silence him, and then he can't attack. Wailing Soul is pretty terrible. You're almost never going to use it, ever. And the only time you would pick this in the arena is if the other choices are young Dragonhawk that we just saw, and Target Dummy. And then there's Ravenhold Assassin, which is rather expensive, but he hits real hard, and he's got stealth. And this card is also not generally very good, although in the arena having a big heavy body is always a bonus if you're at a point in the game where getting it out is not going to leave you for dead the next turn. So I think considering the options and considering we're starting to build some nice low drops, we're going to take Ravenhold. And okay, little baby taunt, summon with Divine Shield, and most importantly, silence a minion. You need to be able to silence some stuff in the arena, and the owl is, one of the best ways to do it. The other card is Spellbreaker. It's a bigger body, and there it is right there. Depending on the the point of the game, like sometimes this is a better silence because not only does it silence something, but now you've got, a minion that trades very well. And then there's Frost Elemental, which is a really solid arena card. Like, it doesn't really see any constructed play, but the stats, the 5/5 comes out and it freezes something. And it's normally going to freeze something you want to kill, and then you're going to be able to kill it on the next turn with the Frost Elemental. Like I said, pretty solid, but considering the way our deck is starting to build up, I think we want to take Spellbreaker for that second silence. Another good 4-drop that's not going to force us to play Hungry Dragon right away, and it just gives us some more options. Okay, another Mech Warper. In the arena, you can have more than 2 of a specific card, not like Constructed. So, like, we could have had 4 Mech Warpers by now, but that is not really going to benefit us in the long run in this game. And Abusive Sergeant, a little 1-drop, and he can help you finish some stuff off. But the arena is about making it to the middle of the game, having board control, and then kind of not losing it. Once you've established board control and you start to dominate their creatures, that's where the snowball effect happens. And you'll see it happen to me as I'm losing, and you'll see it happen for me as I'm winning if I manage to win a couple games. So considering all these things, we're going to take the Spectral Knight. And he really is a pretty great 5-drop in the arena. Can't be targeted by hero powers or magic. Okay, 3 good cards that we've discussed. I think we're definitely taking the other weapon. If you can have 2 True Silver Champions in the arena, there's pretty much no excuse not to. The other cards would have to be pretty good, and these are pretty good, but they're definitely not as good as a sword. Okay, another Brewmaster and the Stormwind Knight with a charge. He's got pretty bad stats, though. He's not really going to kill anything. And Fairy Dragon, another spectral creature that can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. This is a great 2-drop, and you get it out, and they have to use minions to kill it because nothing else is going to. So we're taking that for a little bit more early game. Okay, Lord of the Arena, Big Taunt. If you're new to the game, you're probably using this guy a lot in the decks you're building, and I can tell you right now that you probably don't need to, and there's probably better options. But because he's a big, strong taunt, you think that that's what it takes to win games, and really, it's not that great. There's the Dancing Swords again, and another 2-drop Argent Protector. Battlefry, give a friendly minion to Divine Shield. This card combos really well with some other cards, and you can play it onto something and then kill something, and where your card would have died, it had the Divine Shield, so now it just gets that Divine Shield popped and it's still there. And really, really ideally in a game where we have the coin and Fairy Dragon and this card in our hand, we coin out Fairy Dragon on turn 1, they have no answer for it, and then on turn 2 we give it Divine Shield and just start pounding away with it, because now they have to use minions to kill it. They have to pop the Divine Shield, which is going to take 3 health off of whatever pops it, and then they have to kill it. So we're taking that. That's not just the dream combo. There's plenty of good things for this guy, but that certainly is a great little starting combo. Okay, Bloodsoul Raider, gain the attack equal to the attack of your weapon. So if you've got the True Silver loaded, she'll come out as a 6/3. Has to be dealt with immediately, and otherwise it's like a 2-drop just to get the game rolling. Draconid Crusher. This came out in the Blackrock Mountain expansion. If your opponent has 15 or less health, gain +3/+3. So he's kind of a game closer. You have him in your hand. They've got 18 health. You have 2 creatures on board. You hit him twice, knock him down to 14 health or whatever, 13 health, and then you play this card, and now he's a 9/9 for 6 mana, and they pretty much can't come back from that because they're not going to play anything bigger than a 9/9. And then Showen Yeti. That no matter how long you've been playing Hearthstone, and no matter how good your decks are, there are going to be times where this is a serious consideration for putting it in your deck. And certainly in the arena, this is a great card. It's a solid card. It's a great 4-drop. He's going to do a lot of damage. Looking at our 4-drops, looking at our late game, I think we're going to take the Yeti, because that really, we've only got one super legit 4-drop that we can just play on turn 4 and is not going to either get killed immediately or cost us something or use an effect that we'd rather save in a lot of cases. So we're definitely taking the Yeti. Okay, Holy Light, more health, Eye for an Eye, Bad Secret, and Humility, change a minion's attack to 1. Now, considering we've got plenty, we got 2 True Silvers, that's a total of 8 health, and then we got Lay on Hands, that's another 8 health, and we got Guardian of Kings, that's another 12 health because of 2 of them. So Humility is a good card in the arena. Say they play something big like a Ravenhold Assassin, like a Force Tank Max. You can't get humility on the assassin right away. But anything with a lot of attack, we can just change its attack to 1 for cheap. That's a fun card. Now, Emperor Cobra might be a consideration, but considering the other options, probably not. We've got Wild Pyromancer. After you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. Now that kind of negates our hero power. And to be honest, is we don't have like a lot of spells. We got Blessing of Kings, and we got Lay on Hands. So we don't really have a lot of activators for him. So he's kind of an unnecessary card for us. And then there's Knife Juggler, and Knife Juggler is pretty good all the time. You know, he's a 2-drop, and then if they don't kill him, he just starts firing at shit as you go. So what would be really ideal in this situation would be Knife Juggler turn 2, he doesn't die. Shattered Sun Cleric turn 3, he's a 4/3, he doesn't die, you know, and then turn 4, Argent Protector. And then he's a 4/3 with Divine Shield, and he's just not going to die. So we're going to take Knife Juggler. Like I said, solid 2-drop bottom line, but the dream is alive. And then the last card. It's an epic card choice. And there's the Shade again. Shade is a good card, but considering our other options, probably not the best. Quartermaster. Give your Silverhand recruits +2/+2. So all your little dudes that you summon, if you've got 3 on the board and you play this guy, they're all going to be 3/3s now instead of 1/1s. There was a card called Mustered for Battle, which we did not get offered, which for 3 mana summons 3 dudes and gives you a Light's Justice. And then on like a turn 8, you can combo that with this and have, you know, 3 dudes that are 3/3 and this guy all in 1 turn. It's very hard to deal with, but we didn't get that. So we're not going to take him. We're going to take Avenging Wrath. Deal 8 damage, randomly split among all enemies. This is a good kill shot, and sometimes it can just help you wipe up a frustrating board. So there you go. That is our deck, and it looks pretty solid. I mean, I think we could easily get 4 wins with this deck, and if we're lucky, we might push like 6 or 7, and if we're unlucky, maybe 2. But I really think that 4 wins is a reasonable expectation for this deck. We've got a good solid, you know, we got plenty of 2-drops, we got a few 3-drops, and then lots of good 4-drops. And then from then on in the game, we actually build in some really big cards, some good bodies, and we've got plenty of healing. So let's see how it goes. In the arena, you know, like I said, there are certain classes that are far better than others. Mage, Paladin, Priest, kind of. So you're going to see mostly mages and paladins the more games you win. The more games you win, you know, early on you might see gosh, like a shaman, you know, or a warrior, but when you get to like 6 or 7 wins, because the arena, okay, this is a mechanic I didn't talk about. When you play the arena, it will match you up with an opponent that has the same record as you. So right now we're going to play somebody who is also 0/0, who hasn't played a game yet, and it's a druid. And a druid's kind of like a medium range pick in the arena. Like, he can be good, but it's difficult to play it successfully. Okay. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. If we can pick up another mech, then we can coin this out. Like if we get Spider Tank, we can coin this out on turn 1 and play Spider Tank on turn 2. It's not the case. But yeah, so we're playing a 0/0 druid, and then obviously if we win, we'll be playing a 1-0, you know, character, and if we lose, we'll play an 0-1. So like in the arena, you know you're going to be playing somebody who's about the same caliber as you, record-wise. But that doesn't do any reflections on their deck so much as just how well they're playing. So you might be, you know, 0-2 and think, okay, I'm playing an 0-2 warrior, and okay, at least I'm going to get a win before I get knocked out of the arena. And then, you know, nope, that 0-2 warrior has like an amazing deck. He's just drawn really bad the last 2 games. I mean, I've gone from 0-2 to like 7-2 before, so let's see here. I think we have to play the Mech Warper just to get something out on the board, because we got to challenge this Micro Machine. If that thing lives, he's going to go nuts. Which, it's going to live this turn, because he's going to trade into this and use his hero power probably to kill me. That way he protects the Mech Warper and the Micro Machine. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to coin out the True Silver and just take the hit, because we can't afford to let this thing get any more out of control. It's already got 4 attack. And now see, we coin out True Silver. This is great. And then on the next turn, we can play Burly Rock Draw Trog onto our board and still have 4 damage. So we might be able to actually kill what he plays and now have a minion on the board that he can't really cast spells against. Okay, we're not going to be able to kill what he plays because the Yeti, the mechanical Yeti, like the Chillwind Yeti, is great because of the 5 health. We're going to play Burly Rock Draw Trog, and we're going to hit the Yeti. Why do we hit the Yeti? Because if it hits this now, it trades. And if it doesn't hit this, if he gets greedy and goes face, then we get to use Stormpike Commando on the next turn, deal 2 damage. That's not necessary. Now he wants to kill this. I can't think of what spell he would plan on playing here, so it's probably just a little minion. Dancing Swords. More card draw for us. Now see, if you play Booty Bay here, the swords are forced to kind of go straight into it, and then they trade, and then we draw a card, but then we have nothing left. If we play Spectral Knight, the swords can hit it, but it won't kill it, and he can't cast a spell on it. So we're going to play this and hopefully trade for 2 things. He might just go greedy, be greedy and go face here, just because since these can't kill this, there's almost no point in trading them down. So my idea here is play Avenging Wrath and hope to clear these. It does 8 damage, so we need to help that along. And we don't want this thing really enraged before we hit it, but we need to make sure this dies more than this. So we're going to hit this, put it down to 3 health, and then hope that 3 of that 8 random damage lands on this guy. Otherwise he's going to be huge. That's 4. Oh, 5. We have 3 shots at killing it. Oh, that's so bad. Yep, we're pretty done now. He's already got 15 attacks, so he only needs to find 2 more. He's not using it. He wants to make sure this can't be killed. Oh, wow, and Dr. Boom, look at that. You got an Arena legendary pick. That's pretty awesome. Alright, so there's almost no way out of this. In fact, I don't think there is any way out of this. The obvious answer, get rid of that. And then we don't have any taunt or healing that we can play on this turn. And Dr. Boom's going to kill us. So there you go. Lose our first game. You know, and if Avenging Wrath is a risky play there, because as you saw, like if it hits it twice but doesn't kill it, that thing becomes huge and does a lot of damage. But I think that considering, that you need a little bit of luck in this game, that would have been the best spot to exercise that option and kill that. If that had died, the game would have, yeah, he still would have played Dr. Boom on the next turn, but the game would have been way more, way less skewed in his favor, because we would have taken 11 less damage, which would have left us on 17 health. Yeah, so we actually wouldn't have been right there at the bottom, and we would have been able to contend with Dr. Boom between a few of our other things. Or at least, known that we were going to go to the next turn and be able to play Lay on Hands. And that's where it would have been nice to have a silence as well, to silence that Gurabashi Berserker. But, yeah, we'll keep this. We'll keep this, because the Priest runs Velen's Chosen spell, and occasionally they'll have it in Arena, so if he plays something on turn 2 or turn 3, and then plays Velen's Chosen onto it on the next turn, then we're going to want to silence it. Having the Yeti in our opening hand is probably a good thing, knowing that when we get to turn 4 or even turn 3, this guy's going to be able to drop. Okay, now we got both our silences. And we're definitely going to coin the Yeti out on the next turn unless something really bizarre happens or we get a really totally different option like Spider Tank. And since we can't kill this, we're just going to put the pressure on his face. And that's fantastic. I would have really been sad if that had hit the Yeti.
The damned stand ready.
Okay, so we want to kill this before we kill this because of the death rattle of this. We don't want to kill this and then end up having that, you know, with 6 health, and then he heals it, it's got 8 health, like whatever, it's at 9 health. So what we want to do is kill this and then play one of these. And we could play Hungry Dragon, but then we have to kill whatever Hungry Dragon makes. So, I think we're going to play Burly. Try and stop him from using some spells. Now he can use Shadow Word Pain to kill it right away if he's got a Shadow Word Pain, but otherwise, if he doesn't have Shadow Word Pain, then this is a pretty serious board right now for him to contend with. See, he's looking at the card. He's going to kill the Yeti. And he's going to give the health to the raid leader. And he's going to say, well, now you can't kill that guy because he's got too much health. And I'm going to say you might be right, but if I silence it, it won't have anywhere near enough health. And since these both have 3 health, a Holy Nova card, which does 2 damage to all your enemy characters, is not going to kill these and will be okay. A Light Spawn. Now he just saw the silence, so he's happy playing the Light Spawn and buffing it up really big, even at the risk of making this more dangerous. And now we're going to seriously punish him by silencing that. And then we're going to really punish him by playing Hungry Dragon. And we got the chicken, alright, so we want to kill that for sure. And we want to kill that because if he puts Velen's Chosen on that, it could become a real problem. So now Holy Nova is going to kill 2 things. But it's going to leave my 2 biggest things. And it's a spell, so it's going to buff that. So what he really wants now is Shadow Word Death to kill this before he kills this. Because if he kills this and doesn't kill this, it's going to be a 7 attack. Now he might have a Mind Control tech and have a chance of stealing one of these. Mass Dispel. Okay. So now no more buffs for this guy. But that doesn't really do anything to anything else. Okay, and he plays a Death Lord. Now the Death Lord, as you can see, was in some of my spell damage videos, the Do You Believe in Magic series. The Death Rattle put one of your opponent's minions from their deck on the battlefield. So if we kill this, we get a free minion. Hopefully it's not something that has a battle cry that we want. And we got to think how we want to distribute the damage here. 5 and 3, I guess. And then, oh, that's annoying. And then we're going to play Ravenhold. And now there's just a ton of heat on the board. And Holy Nova would kill 4 things, sorry, but we're still going to have a 5 and a 7 attack minion on the board. It's really sad we lost the battle cry from that. I would have liked that just to get onto, you know, that would be fantastic. He's hoping to hit one of these, and he hits the big one. That's pretty lucky. Okay. Wow, this allows for like super extra greed, so play that. Kill this. Kill the juggler. Kill the loot hoarder. And now, since we have such an advantage, we're probably not going to lose. We can play this next turn. So we'll throw this out anyway and play a dude. So just in case he has mind control tech, he has a, more chances to catch something shit.
Well met.
That berserker. But he knows he can't heal enough to, get out of it here. So we win. I mean, he doesn't want to show us that we win, so we're going to just troll him. See how big we can make this. Make him sad that it's not going to get to hit me. It's going to take a minute. Sorry. It's just taking all the hits so far. It's taken 3 of them. 4 hits. Wow, everything's hit that so far. It's going to be huge. I hope it hits all 8, and it has 1 health and like 30 attack. Oh, that's no fun. 17 attack. Here, I'll let you pretend you did some damage to me. That was fun. So ironically, Avenging Wrath, in both the ways we've seen it, even though we had the kill last time, looks a bit of a liability when they have a Gurabashi Berserker on the board. But that is just, even though it's just happened twice in a row, it's not going to happen that frequently, and it's not going to happen when that's the thing on the board and that's the spell we have in our hand that frequently either. I might be proven wrong. We might face a Gurabashi every time with this card in our hand for the rest of the games we play, but I can't see that happening. So we got Druid and then Priest and now Druid again. We're still like low on wins. It's 1 and 1, so we're playing another 1 and 1 Druid. We have the coin, so we can play Yeti on turn 3. And we're going to otherwise hope to get our Mech Warpers and our Shielded Minibot here. We'd love to draw on a Shielded Minibot, or at least Spider Tank. What I would be sad is if he had Wrath and just kills the Mech Warper right away. My plan. I could have saved the coin for the Yeti for the turn 3, but I think that if we draw into Spider Tank, it's worth it. And I know that's only 1 card, but it would be so nice to have the Spider Tank on the board as well on turn 2. What's he going to do for 4 mana? He's going to put like a Yeti out? Or he's going to put Questing Adventurer out? Well, that's a shame for him because it's going to die. Oh, and he thinks it's going to get all big too. I'm sorry about that, buddy. Do not ever let Questing Adventurer live. If you don't have pure control of what's going on, Questing Adventurer will get out of control and ruin your day. So yeah, when you see Questing Adventurer, especially if they start buffing it right away and you haven't, got any answers beyond what you got right there to kill it, you make sure that thing dies. Sad. No 3-drop. I'm not playing this guy just for the sake of doing it because we make dudes and we really want to get his battle cry onto something. It really is useful. Okay, and our Spellbreaker. We're going to play Burly Rockjaw. And since this doesn't kill us, we're not going to attack. Now, if he plays like Mark of the Wild on this, which might have been the plan to give it, 3 health and 9 or 3 attack and 9 health, we're just going to silence it. And that's why I played Burly, because I knew that if he, plays a spell and buffed it up, then, we could just silence it. Well, it's already at 1 attack. We're not going to use the silence since it hasn't been buffed, so we're going to go ahead and play the Yeti. Okay, we both draw a card. Excuse me.
Get behind me.
Okay, so he's like, let me just put up all the taunts I have. And this is where we use this. Now let me see, we have 4 mana left after that. How efficient is it? I think we should still save our silence. Oh look, something's died, so now we can afford to play Solemn Vigil, draw cards, and see now he's running out of cards, and we have a nice full hand of cards. So all we have to do is hope that nothing gigantic that we can't kill comes out, and then we can actually, you know, start paring down his board a little bit here. Alright, Poison Seed's a bit of an equalizer there, like stops his board from being worse than mine. Now this is actually better, because now we just all got the same creatures, but he has more of them. Turn 7. Now I was thinking of killing one. Should we kill both? Should we just do it that way? And then just make a dude? I think so. We just save everything we've got. Or we could play Ravenhold Assassin. Kill one of these, and then he just doesn't have. Yeah, we're gonna do it like that. Because then we still, you know, we still have a handful of great answers and great, just a range of different options available to us. But now we can kill pretty much anything gets played in one shot. Okay, that's fine. This is a good spot for Avenging Wrath. This is one of those spots where, you know, it should clear the board up. And that's equally as good because right now minions cost more, so it kind of affects him as much as it affects me. So we'll play a dude, and we'll punch him in the face. So where he has less cards in his hand, obviously Mana Wraith is going to limit him far less. He's like, let it live. He's not going to hit this, is he? Yeah, that'd be silly. So we use this. And now we freed up that mana, so we can use this. Unless that other card is swipe, he's going to have a hard time dealing with this. I mean, he already, you know, they've all got 2 health, so he needs to use Starfall. Nope, he just plays the Blink 4/4. So this card becomes a 7/7 if you have a beast on the board already. That should just about do it. Just go heavy. So close. Nice. We're going to win our second game right here. That's a pretty good start. See, that first game was fairly frustrating and very unlucky that you know worked out the way it did with that Avenging Wrath on the Gurbashi. But now you know you can see that this deck's got some punch, and I was confident of that when I was building it. So I'm happy to see it working now. And that's what you're supposed to do. When you know you're going to die, you suicide yourself into the biggest creature. That's the honorable way to go. Two wins, boys. 2 wins. Let's keep it going. Now this is one of those videos that might be quite a bit longer if we keep doing well, and it could just end up abruptly in the next 20 minutes because we lose the next 2 games. Fingers crossed, this is one of those long videos. I'm sure if we start racking up the wins, you guys are going to want to keep watching. Okay, so now we're 2-1.
I will fight with honor.
So now we get a paladin. This is a guy with a positive record, and it's likely we're going to go ahead and keep this and this. It's likely that you know, we're going to start seeing more paladins and more mages if we keep winning. Okay, so this is actually a good early counter card if he does play like Muster for Battle, and we don't have an answer. We're probably just going to steal one of his dudes if he's got 3 dudes plus something else. But there's always a chance that we steal that something else and then we get some pretty good value from it. Otherwise, still Paladin is a deck that can build a board quickly. So this might be some good insurance right there. I kept the Blessing of Might so that once we've got a dude on the board, if there's something that we want to kill for 4, we can just easily get rid of it for cheap. Minibot. Frostwolf Grunt. Yeah, you probably don't want to pick that card if there are 2 other cards next to it. It'd be funny if he was greedy here and just tried to hit me in the face with this, because then we could totally buff the dude and kill the thing. You should kill it though. Okay. Well, there's not really any better plays, and there's no other way to kill this, and we kind of want to save this now, so... Bam. And now the board swings in my favor, so that I have the 2/2 and he has the dude. Sword of Justice. A nice little pull for the arena, just to keep buffing dudes as you play. He's going to ping it with his sword. If he doesn't, he should. No, he does. Good boy. And it's going to be tough to contend with whatever comes out now when we play this card, because he's going to get buffs on everything. But we have Blessing of Might, we have the True Silver, we have Blessing of Kings. So we want to definitely cycle some cards here. There's no point really playing this onto an empty board and risking getting it oozed. We don't want him to know we have it yet. He can know it when we need it. And there's the ooze. See, so had we played that card, that would have definitely happened. We would have lost the True Silver, and he would have just had this big ooze out there. Ironically, now we can kill the ooze with a True Silver. And kill the dude with this, and it stays alive. And that can kill another dude next turn. Ooh, it'd be nice to have a silence for this thing. This is actually going to work out just fine. So hit it for 2. And kill it. And we'll save the sword charge because we want to be able to combo it with this, or just use it to kill something so that this stays alive. It's nice we've got him down to only one more buff, and then that thing's dead. He's buffing the Hungry Dragon. Give me something good. Oh, that's not a bad 1-drop. Something with stealth, and this is the problem with the Hungry Dragon. Like now, it's gonna die because I have this. I mean, let's see. We could give it Blessing of Attack, which makes it do 5. It's kind of an uneven way of doing it. Oh, Blessing of that one gives it do 7. There you go. Bam. Bye, Dragon. And then the most mana efficient way to play would be to play the Yeti and a dude, and then there's the other options to play Spectral Knight, which you can't target. I think we're going to play Yeti and a dude, though, and just stay on curve, because then next turn we can play, you know, a couple of things. Do I want to kill this? Yes, we have another sword, so we're actually going to get +1 health from killing it. Then he can't buff it on the next turn. And just in case he has some sort of weird, funky Consecrate combo or something, we're going to just get the value of hitting with our Worgen. Avenging Wrath. See, everybody loves that card. And the Yeti does not die. He's got 5 health. Health. H-E-L-F. 5 health. That is noble sacrifice. I'm going to show you right now because there's no point in buffing the Yeti. I mean, nah, because then you can just kill it next turn with something. We're just going to get it killed with noble sacrifice. Oh, that must be avenge. There's a possibility it's the secret that makes me have 1 health. We're going to take that risk and play our Spectral Knight. Okay. So we know it's not Repentance. It doesn't give our characters 1 health. We know it's not Noble Sacrifice. So we know that it's not going to block a shot because we just tried that. And we know it's not Eye for an Eye because we hit him in the face with the Yeti, so we would have also taken 4 damage. There's basically 2 spells left that it could be. One of them is Repentance, which when we kill something, it'll come back with 1 health. And then there's Avenge, which is the really, the better of the secrets. And it's when you kill something, something else gets +2 +1. +3 +2. So, how do we do this most efficiently to make sure that if it's Avenge, we get to kill that other thing? I know. They're going to get +1 health, so we can kill both of these if they have 4 health. So we're going to kill this, and if it's Avenge, we can use this to kill whatever it goes to. +3 +2. Sorry, actually it's a little more. Okay, so now he's huge. 5. So now, I'm going to hit him with the Yeti, and we're going to get some full Avenging Wrath value here. How do you like me now? I could have killed the little 2/3 Razorfen Hunter with this to make sure that it just all goes that way. It's essentially the same thing, except that now the Spectral Knight is fully healthy. And there's a small gamble, but it's still likely that it's going to kill the Razorfen Hunter. And keeping the Spectral Knight at full health means that he can't do any, sort of AoE spells like Consecrate that somehow, keep reducing that health. Now see, the Volcanic Drake, even though it has 6 attack, it's pretty possible that we should just kill it with our sword. Now let's think about this. We have 4, 5, we can add to 9. We can do 13 damage right now to his face. But we can also do that next turn with the sword as well. And having this is dead is probably pretty valuable. And I don't want him to use any spells to counteract what I'm doing here, so we're going to play the Burly Rockjaw. Dude, and that should just about finish the game off. Okay, got a little taunt. A little extra attack. I don't know what he's using it on. Nothing dies. What is your last card, sir? Seal of Light. Oh, okay. So I think he wants to kill that. But now he's got to take 5 down. I mean, he's basically dead every way. And he is going to kill it. He's got 8 health. We've got 8 attack once we get to the taunt. And we're going to be able just to polish them all off with this thing. So, there you go. It was a pretty easy game. We stayed really far ahead in health, and we only took that extra 6 damage because we wanted to clear the Drake. It was voluntary damage, he didn't get to attack with the Drake. So we had pretty solid control throughout that whole game. And we're now at 3-1. So the next opponent we're going to get is also going to be 3-1. And we'll see what they are. It's probably more likely now to be a Paladin, a Mage, or a Priest. You do see a few more Warlocks these days. Warlocks are having some reasonable success in the arena, but like I said, the more you win, the more you're likely to just see a Paladin or a Mage, and with a sort of sprinkling of Priests in there. Priests have some really good control spells, and if they get a really good deck going, then they'll be, wow, a hunter. Okay, so, you know, early on, we got a little hunter. He's doing some work. He's 3-1.
Fight with honor.
You know, like I said before, the one of the things about, you know, having a few wins is that, you know, you win 2 or 3 games early, you're still playing people with that only have 1 or 2 wins already as well. So you're not really totally sure how strong their decks are, and so you couldn't be totally sure how strong your deck is when you've, you know, won 3 games and lost 1, because once you start winning more, you're going to start running into other people who are also winning more, and that's where it's going to be, okay, this guy must have a very good deck. And I've gone plenty of times where I've won 3 games and then lost 3 games, or, you know, done like we did now, we're at 3-1, and then lose, you know, just lose the rest of the way out. So we don't want to get too excited, but I would say that we probably have a better deck than this hunter. That must be Explosive Trap. But it could be freezing. We never know. I'm just going to go like this and see. It is Freezing Trap. Awesome. So it doesn't kill anything. It's fine by me. And he's still got nothing on the board, so this will trade with that nothing if he decides to. And next turn we can pretty much use Gnomish Inventor fairly happily. Yeti. What? 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 What is this guy doing? Take the card. I could have played Booty Bay and made him like sort of trade both of these into it, but he's probably going to be pretty greedy here. So, and I couldn't play Booty Bay. I didn't have enough mana. What am I talking about? But this next turn is probably going to be a good spot for Booty Bay. Oh yeah. What's he doing to that? Hunter's Mark, and he's going to kill it, and that's going to buff that. Okay. So we might want to silence this before it gets any bigger. Just want to see if there's anything I can do that gets 2 creatures out on the board instead of 1. Look at him go. Look at him go. No, there is nothing I can do that gets 2 creatures out on the board instead of 1. So I'm going to play this card and hope that he has to trade both of these into me. Now he's Hunter, so he might, you know, just keep going face like a Hunter would in Constructed, and just, you know, try and get maximum damage on me. But I have healing in hand, and I've got more healing to come, so I'm not too worried about that. I'd be more annoyed with like a Deadly Shot. Fucking hell, how many Hunter's Marks has he got? I've seen 2 already. He's using them pretty liberally. Having that charge is pretty serious. Let's see here. See, I'd like to play 2 cards, but there's not a great deal of value in playing 2 cards because this thing could cause problems for us if he's got like Stranglethorn Tiger or something. So I'm going to play the Taunt. Come on, Booty Bay. One time in your life, be useful. Force him to trade. If you can trade both of these into the Booty Bay, I'd love life, but I just don't see it happening. This could be happening. And he's going to do it like that. Okay, let's think about this. We can kill that and still be standing. I think I'm going to do that because he's running out of cards. And I'm going to heal and put a big body out here. So now we can like trade that, but this suddenly becomes a problem. It's something that's more important to deal with than just putting the pressure on my face. Where he's running, like he could play 2 cards here, and then suddenly he's starting to get real low. That's extremely useful top deck for him to be able to do the 1 damage. Play another creature. Just do it. Just play. He might be worried that I have Mind Control Tech. I did say when I picked the card at the beginning that, you know, people will play around it. This is ridiculous, though. We get both of these dead. See, now we can play Solemn Vigil. We don't really need to, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play another creature to make sure that we have even more even more on the board, more to handle whatever comes out, because we are still at a health disadvantage, and we need to be able to take care of stuff as it appears and keep applying our own pressure. Especially since he's hero powering the shit out of me. The shit. He's hero powered me so much, all the shit's come out of me. That is a great card. Oh, it would have been fun to use that on that. Okay, so let's see here. Is there a better way? He's not going to kill us this next turn. Play that card. Play that card. And now we can play Spider Tank. Beautiful. And because he's a hunter, we don't want to put... We want the Spectral in the middle in case he has the explosive shot that does 5 damage to the one in the middle and 2 on either side. Now he can't target the one in the middle, so we would have to just hit this and kill this, or just hit this and kill this. But it would always leave one minion alive, no matter what. There's Cobra Shot. That's a very aggressive card, but it's not a very good card. Super inconsistent. Well, if he thought that, you know, that he's just going to start barreling me down, then he needs to think again. Now we start putting our own pressure on. We didn't draw any more healing. We got the sword for a little bit of healing, but we drew a bunch more cards, so we're drawing closer to the rest of our healing, and that would be the other Guardian of Kings. Coupled with our swords, we should be fine. So now this is going to be fun, because he's going to think, well, how am I going to deal with that? And I'm going to deal with that like this. And then, just to drive the point home, should we play Burly, or should we should play the weapon and take the free heal? Because now we have lethal, like locked in for next turn. If he doesn't taunt or heal, he's dead. And if he does taunt, well, the taunt's not a problem because we have silence. Oh, but if he plays a secret, that puts him on 14 health, and might kill this if it's an explosive trap. And he's going to hit that once. Yep, then we know it's explosive trap. Okay. Well, that's fine. We still have a ton of cards, a ton of answers, and he still has, you know, nothing left. So, first things first. Kill this. Oh, that's going to be sad for him. And then kill that, because we don't want anything alive. And pop the stupid trap. Okay, and then he's like, alright, well, he's still low on life. Well, no, I'm not low on life. I'm going to play that. And I'm going to play Raid Leader. Just show him who's boss. There you go. Get wrecked, son. I mean, he didn't have the worst deck. He was putting on a ton of heat, but a ton of healing works when you're playing Paladin. My healing is stronger than your heat, sir. And there's 4 wins. Okay, so we've reached expectation. If you can average 4 wins in the arena, you're probably going to get back at least 50 gold every time you win 4 games, at least. So, you know, like I said, it's 150 to buy into the arena. It's 100 to buy a pack of cards, and you always get a pack of cards from the arena. So if you can win 4 games on average, you're going to get a pack of cards plus 50 gold, which is exactly the same thing as paying 100 gold for a pack of cards, but you get the experience of playing in the arena. You get the experience of being versatile with your deck building and imaginative and understanding synergy, and at the same time, you also get the chance. Like, there's a bit of a gamble there. You get like the chance to actually do better and win more. And you know, like I said, if you win 7 games, well, then you definitely get 150 gold. So now you're getting a free pack on top of playing the arena. And if you keep going, you know, you see people win 11, 12 games. I've won 12 games a couple times. You can get upwards of 400 gold plus your pack. So now you're just like super free rolling. It's pretty good, you know. And that's why it's worth investing some of your gold into the arena, even if you're not super hyped about it. You know, maybe if you're buying packs as often as possible, maybe one day a week play the arena. And you know, the rest of the day is usually gold to buy packs, but like one day a week play the arena. Like make it something you do so that you can get the experience and you can feel the way it works, and maybe you'll get a couple good runs to start. You know, it's difficult to fully adjust to the way the game works, but if you can really feel it out and get kind of an instinct for the way that it works, then yeah, you can be way more profitable than just buying one pack of cards at a time. And I wouldn't say that I'm super profitable in that sense. Let's see here quickly. I'm going to silence it. Why not, right? Then he just doesn't produce any imps. And we still have another silence, so if anything scary comes out, we can deal with it. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's worth getting good at the arena, because even though I don't win 4 games plus all the time, I definitely have plenty of 2 and 3 win runs. And in fact, the other day I actually queued up an arena and lost 3 games in a row. In fact, that was the game that I got a legendary card in the pack afterwards. So sometimes, you know, you totally don't care because you get a great card afterwards. But the bottom line is that, you know, it's not easy to win at Hearthstone. It's easy to play the game. It's easy to kind of get a grasp for the game. But it's not easy to win. And you're never going to get better, and you're never going to get the experience and understand how to win until you really take your beatings. You know, that's just part of life. And that's how this game works too. So let's see here. I don't really want to use my other silence, so we're going to play the Yeti. And even though she's going to kill this for free, then we need to make sure somebody else dies. So we're going to kill that. And hopefully he doesn't have a mech to buff this up, because then he's more likely to want to kill this. So yeah, Arena, invest that gold once in a while. Give it a go. You know, don't be discouraged if you have a few shitty runs when you start playing. And, you know, good luck. Good luck in drafting those cards and getting really good picks. And don't forget that if you are a bit more of the studious type, that you open up Hearth Arena. When you play Arena, I'll go to that website, Hearth Arena, open it up, log in, and enter your cards as you go. And it will give you a very quick and very easy breakdown of why you're picking certain cards and why you're not picking other cards. I'm not sure if I like this play, but I went for board control over, or you know, presence over control. Like, I'm hoping that these trade, and that she trades. I think that was like the plan. When I went in, when I played these, I was like, okay, well now the Yeti's going to trade with that, and she kind of has to kill that. And that leaves my 2/2, which is going to continue to buff stuff as they, you know, I bring them out, and it also means that I could just bless it and kill something else. But I didn't really want to kill her and leave him on 2 health, just in case he had like some sort of board clear spell like Demon Wrath. That's kind of painful. Defender of Argus is huge there. We still get to kill the spiders with the Fairy Dragon. In fact, we could silence the spiders. That might be the better option. Then we kill, yeah. Then we kill this, and we can kind of play off of that. So, silence spiders, kill that guy, load sword, kill Argus. Now we've got an even board. Plus I have something to handle whatever comes out. Well, not whatever, but a few things. That's not one of them. That's just so lucky for him how he gets to keep that alive, kill me. Like, okay, that's a nice play, nice play. Good card, sir. I like having answers. We're going to save the sword for now because killing that's not important. That's not going to do anything, and we're still not going to kill that. If he has a silence for this, then that's kind of bad for us because then he makes it a 6 attack again, and then it will kill my Spectral Knight. But ideally, he's kind of just going to go face here, and we're going to heal and, keep on pushing. Okay, well, we have no AoE, we have no consecrates. This is going to be difficult to deal with. What's the first play? The first play is kill something. The next play is set up to kill stuff. Then we definitely want to kill this. And then we're going to play a Mech Warper, hope it hits this or this. Yes, and then we're going to play a Dude and hope he hits that. Beautiful. And then it's most likely that he's going to use these to kill the Juggler on the next turn.
So many possibilities. You call that a weapon?
Pretty solid there. Shadow Flame getting it done. We definitely want to put this out, so we're going to do that and play a Dude. And then we know we have card draw in hand. I still don't see anything. Wow, MC Tech would be great to draw here. Wow. Can we draw MC Tech one time, please? I mean, I can draw into it if I don't just get it. Okay, let's try and draw into it. Come on, MC Tech. Oh, Avenging Wrath is also pretty fucking good. Question is, we gotta kill this. No, I mean, we should kill this. I want to kill this. We gotta kill this. Just gotta be responsible. But if we hit this a bunch of times, we make a bunch of little imps. Like, I don't really like that, but... Fuck it. YOLO. Imp. Yes! That is a good result. We even got the imp that spawned. That's amazing. I'm happy with that. So now, I mean, obviously he can kill both my creatures with his creatures, but that's preferable to him having spells to kill my creatures because we want the board sort of cleared. That's bad. We need this to, like, miss and hit face. And then we need him to want to trade into that. Face, 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 miss. Face, face, face. Yes! That's the best we could hope for because that leaves us with options and trying to find a way to kill this in the next turn. Oh, boring. Okay, I think this guy's going to win this game. Because I just don't have any answers for all of that. Not all of that. +3 attack. And we need to kill this. Like, we just have to. See what he gets. It's a shame that we don't get to use that. So what's he got? 2, 6, 7, 8. He's 1 off lethal if everything goes face. Miss and hit the dude. Miss and hit the dude. Now we want him to miss face and hit the dude. Okay. Okay, I can deal with that. If I draw Blessing of Kings, that oh, Leroy, how has everybody got a legendary today? How do you just? I don't always get legendaries. How do they get legendaries? All right, whatever. 4 and 2. Good game, Mr. Warlock. You had me. I mean, I needed cards like I needed to draw my lay on hands and stuff in that game. And as you can see, when you run out of cards and run out of options, and you're just not drawing more cards, it can be quite difficult. All right, so now we're walking the fine line of, staying alive in the arena. One more loss and we're out. But it would be nice to kind of keep pushing this on a bit. And another paladin. So I think out of the six, this is the 7th game. We've seen 3 paladins so far. Get rid of everything. Okay, so we got some options. I'd rather play the Mech Warper on turn 2 than the Knife Juggler, for the sense that if he has anything to remove, like, what is that? Seal of Light, that I'd rather he kills this. I mean, he can't even kill this, because he can only do 2 attack. Oh, there's that guy. Well, I think we need... Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to play Mech Warper. And if he doesn't have Seal of Light and be able to combo kill it, then we can buff it and kill this for sure. Perfect. Perfect. That works great. The only thing that annoys me is they'll be able to trade with this, but I think beggars can't... Oh, well, yeah. You know what? Let's do it like this. That still dies, and then we can save the buff. Turn 5, Knife Juggler, Shattered Sun Cleric, buff the Knife Juggler. And now he kind of wants to kill this more than he wants to kill this when he has that. He must have Concentrate. Draw a card. Hit it very hard. Okay, let's see.
Let me think. Get behind me.
I'd rather that I leave a little bit more of the attack buff out, because we don't need a spell buff. Like, now we could Concentrate, we kill that, take that down to 1, be able to trade it, and then he'd still have this alive. See, that was the plan. Now he just has to trade this, and then this is still alive. And even though it's just a 2-1 now, it's way better than nothing. Burly Rockjaw. Divine Shield on the Burly Rockjaw. That's one of the dreams. Like, there's not a lot he can do against this now, because it's protected by the Divine Shield. Next turn, just buff it up some more with Shattered Sun Cleric. This can be my MVP of the game. I mean, you can silence it, obviously. Just pull out an owl or silence. Questing Adventurer, here we go. He's got to have 2 more cards. Nope, 1 more card. It's not really enough. Okay, how are we going to break this guy down? think we have to pop the shield. It's unfortunate. We just have to make sure.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Buff the juggler, just in case he plays perfect. Kill that. Make a dude. Good time. So now either he plays mind control tech or another heal bot. That's fine. He plays a dude with a heal bot. Yes, he does.
This is my responsibility.
Okay. Kill the heal bot, kill the dude.
Reporting for duty.
Look at that pressure! It's beautiful!
I'll show them all.
Well, that's a big mad scientist. But it won't be for long. Yeah. Too much good stuff. Get wrecked. Five wins, 5 wins. We need 2 more. 2 more wins. 2 more wins to get the free roll. We're not allowed to lose any though on our way. That's where the anticipation comes in, where you're like, am I going to go out here? Am I going to keep surviving? We want to keep surviving. Going on a long video probably. But that's okay when it comes to Arena. The longer the better. And a mage. It's about time. I think we had a mage in like, what, the second game, maybe? So we love Spectral Knight against the mage. Okay, at least now we got 2 drops. I don't think I've seen Shielded Minibot once yet, but there's your Spectral Knight back again, so that's not too bad. I just couldn't hold on to him in the opening hand. Just we have to draw to better things. Okay, so Juggler gets Frostbolted. Or Flame Cannon. Or not. Super bonus. There's the Shielded Minibot. Oh, that's frustrating. I mean, we were probably pretty much going to trade it anyway. But I wanted to see if I was going to get 1 juggle to the face. It would have been nice. And we don't want to pop the Divine Shield yet, if we don't have to. Because if we draw into Blessing of Kings and you get to give it the blessing with the Divine Shield, and now it's a 6/6 that needs to be popped first. I mean, yeah, it's hero power. This is one of the few classes that can actually pop it without worrying about it. But it's still a good... That's nice, though. What's he going to play here for 5? Booty Bay. Grim Patron. What the fuck? Oh, I see why. Okay. Alright, alright. Unfortunately, that's just not how it's going to go down. How did he do that? Oh, he did that. Okay. Fine. want to make it so that I can do Avenging Wrath and make sure pretty much everything dies if he doesn't trade here, because he's going to ping off the owl most of the time. And then he's going to use this one, I'm sure, to kill this, unless he just wants to go face-face. Face-face. Okay, we need 7 of the 8 to go onto these. I mean, that's a bit of a long shot, but here we go. Wow! Wow! It worked. We got them all. Beautiful. That's just like such a huge play right there. Yeah, we're a turn ahead mana-wise, so like we're going to be behind after he does his turn 7, but that really brought it back a lot. Okay, so that's most likely to be Mirror Entity, but because it's the arena, it can be a whole assortment of things. Second most likely is like Ice Barrier and occasionally Vaporize. Try for Mirror Entity, which it is. Then play Spectral. And we're going to make it so he can't do anything. So that way we don't just lose the Spectral Knight to the minions that are on the board. So now it's going to be more profitable for him really to like trade Fairy Dragons and then figure it out from there. Well, it's one way to get it done. Is that going to be another Mirror Entity?
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
It's not. Is it going to be Duplicate?
For justice.
It is. So now we force him to trade this into my Spectral Knight. So we're gonna get the punch with the Spectral Knight, get like the initiative back on the board, and force a trade here. Now, unfortunately, he's got way more cards than us, and we haven't drawn any of our card draw yet. So the healing's gonna be useful, but we're not gonna get a lot done after that. Miss, miss, miss. Face, face, face. Face. What? Grr. Oh my God! Too many bombers. Still the best thing out of all of them that we could have duplicated. Oh, Fen Creeper! Psh. Everybody. So now at least we can just kill the Fen Creeper on the next turn and kind of figure it out from there. Jesus. Oh, we're in trouble. Big trouble. Oh my God. Oh, so low. Gotta heal. That's happening. How much stuff can we kill? Maybe not enough. We have 10 health. Fireball kills me. Frostbolt, ping, dude kills me, kind of pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of ways to kill me. He's killing me. So sad. Ah, and a Frostbolt? That's gross. Oh, stupid Dragon's Breath. Who picks 2 Dragon's Breaths in the arena? You know what, buddy? You deserve to win. You know, pick 2 Dragon's Breath? That's a risk. Alright. So we won 5. That's not bad. Not bad because the video's not super long and, you know, actually shows a really good little bit of momentum there. And I said I expected to win 3 or 4, so a little bit above expectation. Hopefully we get a little bit above like 60 or 70 gold here. But you never know at 5 wins. Like, you're going to get 50, but it can be rough. Oh, see, that's bad. Dust is bad because that negates some of the gold you might get. Come on. Decent gold. 60. Okay, so like we could have got 60 and then like 45 gold. So as it is, we basically profit 10 gold from that arena run, get some dust, and there's our pack. Let's open the pack and see what we get. Come on, legendary. That's all we do it for. We do it so we can open packs and get legendaries, and most of them are shit, and then we disenchant them and make better things. Rare. Basic. 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 It's always annoying when the first one you hit is rare, and then you find like all the rest are common. Okay. Pretty poo. But not the worst run ever, and I hope that gives you guys a kind of good idea of how the arena works and how you can, get a little momentum in it if you build a decent deck. And, where I got punished, I mostly got punished when I wasn't getting my card draw. And when I wasn't able to play my healing quick enough in a couple of turns. Basically, Lay on Hands was a huge card for me, and getting that really helped swing the game later in the game. But all in all, I'd say that was a pretty successful little run, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Hearthstone for Noobs.